Hello, everybody. We are back. We are here at the White Piano Podcast, located at the Mutual Musicians Foundation. Thank y'all so much for tuning in with us. As per usual, we have an amazing guest with us. You can see him sitting across from me right now. You will hear some chatter in the background because there was the happy hour. There is the happy hour presently going, the Bird's Nest, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. The White Piano Podcast takes over at 5. So don't mind our wonderful guests back there, our audience members. No further ado, let's get into it. So excited to have accomplished creative artist, painter, illustrator, custom shoe designer, poet, whose work brings bold color, culture, and storytelling to life. Who am I speaking of? Claude Harris. Thank you so much for being with us, Claude.
Thank you. I really appreciate you for having me here.
Absolutely. Is this your first time here at the Mutual Musicians Foundation?
Yes, it is. I'm shocked to even see all of the great artists that was here way before me.
So you kind of catch the vibe as to what this place was just from being in here the first time, right?
Yes.
Or is that right? Let me not say right. Is that right?
Yeah, it reminds me of the picture of the Harlem Renaissance that was taken years ago and recreated years ago for hip-hop artists. That's kind of what it reminds me of, like all these great artists that took a picture in Kansas City so long ago.
Yes. We're so happy for you to be here. You know, this is not the first stop that you've stopped at on 18th and Vine. So you were recently featured artist at the 18th and Vine Arts Festival.
Yes. I've been there now for 3 years, going on 4. I just came from the conference, and I would like to say I'm trying to make a name for myself by just being featured there and a couple of other places as well.
I gotta say, wait a minute, you trying to make a name for yourself? You've been, I read somewhere that you've been painting since you were 4, is that correct?
Well, I've been doing art pretty much most of my life, roughly around age of 4, but I've been painting ever since 2013.
Yeah, so I mean, you've been on the scene for many years. I've seen you on the scene. You've been featured on news stations. You were on, was it 41 News?
Yeah.
So you, you're not new to this. You've been at this for a while. I want to make sure that people understand that Claude Harris has been working his paintings around Kansas City and abroad as well. Is that correct? Do you sell and travel abroad with your work?
I'm trying to get to that point now. I have featured outside of Kansas City in Topeka. I've in other places like Kansas City, Kansas. I'm trying to right now get some of my artwork to Atlanta, to Texas and California and New York, and I'm going to start traveling with my artwork once I get a certain series done in the way I want it.
Okay. Now, as you can see behind us, there is some artwork displayed on the white piano, and yes, that is Claude Harris's artwork, and we will get into that a little bit later as to what these pieces mean. But you did say that you were going to start traveling. What prompted that? What sparked that idea for you to do that?
I want as many people to see my artwork and enjoy it, and you can kind of be in a fishbowl at times or catch yourself in that same environment in Kansas City, and this is my way of just splurging out and getting out, because I'm in a phase where I want to create masterpieces, and I also want to be known worldwide. So the only way to do that is, like Tech 9 said from Kansas City, you got to campaign and kiss the babies. So that's ultimately what I'm trying to do and show people, because I've heard from other people when they see my work, like, this is your work? Like, yeah. Oh, you need to come to such and such. Yeah. So who am I to deny them?
Okay. I like that input or that insight that you have on that. I'm like, input wasn't the right word. So let me ask you, you mentioned Tech 9. We are here at the Mutual Musicians Foundation. Do you have a favorite artist?
Yes. Right now, I've always been a fan of hip hop, and one of them, especially coming from the hometown, was Tech 9. He's one of the most innovative people that I got a chance to witness his growth and see all of his catalog. And he's not your typical rapper but he's also not your typical businessman too. And he kind of gets left out of the loop and the conversation when it comes to that. Maybe it's because he's independent, I don't know, but he's one of those people who I admire, along with 50 Cent and Ludacris. And I come from a whole different era where those were the major hit guys, and people loved and adore the music still to this day. But yeah, I love other genres too, but hip hop is where my home is.
Got you. Do you listen to music while you're creating, while you're painting?
Yes, from time to time. I was born in '89, but I'm a '90s baby. I love me some '90s R&B. I'll take it back to '70s. I'll be singing because I love you. I'll go all in as I'm just going away at it. And I watch movies too, so it goes hand in hand.
Oh, so you watch movies while you're painting as well?
Yes, I'm a big movie buff.
Okay.
And that's actually what fuels some of my artwork. Mm-hmm. Like, there's certain songs that I want to paint out.
Yeah.
Like, I can see it visually. Like, I'm a big fan of Nas too. And I was going to do 2 Nas songs and paint it out and make it be very visual.
Yes.
But I was also going to do one painting inspired by a couple of movies that I like. But I love cinematography. I love the wardrobe. All of that I pay homage into my paintings. So when you see someone dressed a certain way, the colors are a certain way, it's all symbolic and portrays a message that relates to our culture.
Yeah. You know, I was going to ask you because some of the ladies in your artwork, like their clothes and their jewelry and their nails, I'm like, whoa, I'm like, I want that outfit. I want those bangles. Like, I want my nails done like that. So have you ever like been a fashion designer, jewelry designer, a nail tech? Any of that?
Oh man, it's funny you say that. When my money was low, I thought about being a nail tech. Like, okay, you can charge $500 for a set of nails. Okay, I'm bet. But maybe it was just my own like masculinity. Like, please don't do that. Please don't do that. Like, but it doesn't matter as long as I'm doing art. I'm in a good space. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to my influences, women and women of color are my major influences, and it always has been in my art. So everything I do, I try to show the good and the bad, but I also want to have them see themselves in a good light. Because psychologically, I'm media, and I want to affect how you view yourself. I want you to know and have you understand that you are beautiful, you are different, but that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with it. It's unique, and especially when it comes to art, it's exceptional that you stand out and you're unique. If you got rolls, if you got bags up under your eyes, these are things that are natural, and I want to display that, but I also want to display the opulence, the spirit, and the whole history behind why we dress and act and portray ourselves in a certain way. It's all encompassed when it comes to who we are as a people.
You know, I think that's great that you inspire women like that because I don't like who's perfect but a Barbie doll.
Exactly.
You know, in reality, but in society, they do. You know, perfection is a thing. Looking a certain way is a thing. So I appreciate you for putting that artwork in, or putting that into your artwork to inspire women that no matter if you're like this away or that away, you're good, you know?
Exactly.
So thank you so much for boosting, you know, that confidence in our people.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate it.
I try, I have one painting that I'm going to be doing where it's a young lady who just gave birth. And I sketched it out already. Her child is sitting on the edge of the bed and she's looking into a mirror, and you can only see the back of her and her robe coming down as she's examining her body now that it's changed. And it's important to me to have like good references of women who have a certain body type where you can see the stress in the stomach, where your stomach was out of because you had a baby and now is going to just deflate it, where you see all the wrinkles and everything. I want a woman to relate to my artwork and be like, oh man, this is what I was going through when I had my baby, and I literally do it for women. And I have a lot of things for men as well, but I just haven't gotten to that point as of yet. My main focus right now is for women.
You're inspired to create women.
Oh yes.
Because I think, a lot of your artwork is women. I do want to take it back for a second. Like, I want to talk about, just briefly here, like I mentioned, like the fashion. How do you create? Because like when I was looking at one of their paintings, her outfit just looked like it was just like silk on through the painting. I'm like, geez, how did he do that? How do you create? How do you do that?
It's funny you ask, because some things are in the moment. I started to get so relaxed in painting and knowing what my medium is, to the point where I started just trying stuff, and it just stuck, like the Bob Ross effect. Like, this is our happy tree, this is our happy robe that looks sheer and nice, and I just started making my mind work on how to make things look. I'm very, very big on having something that is original and from my own mind. So I do want to get into fashion at one point and being a staple of that, but it starts with the artwork first and foremost. And I'm very much influenced on a lot of tutorials, a lot of history when it comes to all the houses of fashion and things of that nature, reason why, the psychology that's behind it. I look up all these things to influence my artwork and make it look unique, different, and vibrant.
And it definitely is. So I think we can go ahead and talk about these paintings that you so kindly brought to us, so that we can display them on the White Piano podcast, literally on the White Piano. So let's talk about the first one there. What is that called, and what inspired it?
Well, this is my part of my mermaid series, and this is the mermaid. It's called The Coming. Like, this is
what was
about
that again?
The Coming.
Okay.
This is about the war that's in the storyline. Each painting it's like a snapshot of the storyline. So when you invest into the painting, you're investing into the story. So with this one, you have mermaids actually swimming up to boats, and they're starting the war, and it's for a whole big grandiose reason that you have to wait for when I make the comic book.
I'm like, because when do we find out what the story is?
I know you'll see bits and pieces of it throughout my artwork, but I'm trying to create the storyline as we speak.
Okay.
And I have one for the fairy series as well. And there are two different storylines that I'm creating. The mermaid is a little bit more dark and more intricate, and the fairy series is a little bit more light and happier, with a little bit of symbolism in it as well.
Got you. So just know that when you purchase a piece, you're purchasing into a part of the storyline.
Yes, ma'am.
I think that is so cool. Are people aware when they're buying one of your pieces of artwork that that's what they're doing?
I try to let them know, but I don't think they know how big it's going to be, especially when I state these things. It's only for these two series, and I have other series that I'm going to be working on, but I wanted to focus on this because there's a whole entire history with mermaids and fairies in African folklore. The Little Mermaid and Tinkerbell, those came from Disney and a Danish storyteller. But we predate that by years. Our stories are getting told without us, and I don't want to let that happen. So I took it upon myself to be media, which my medium is the way I speak. I'm going to talk about wars, what we've been through, and the way I do it is through this fantasy series as of right now. But I will get into social, political issues that we're happening right today as we speak.
Awesome. And so after we get through these, I want to ask you, because I know you paint a lot of mermaids, mermen, fairies, and so I want to ask you like how you got into that. But before we do that, let's go over the second painting and then our final one here.
Yes, this is the middle painting is a fairy. I forgot the title of it because I have quite.
She's a different fairy. Okay.
Yeah, actually, it was a young lady who I met, doing a show at Equal Mind Cafe off the
I've
Truth.
seen her. No, I'm kidding.
And she was a florist. And I just simply asked her, like, may I take a picture of you? I do art. And she was like, oh, okay, yeah. Months, close to a year later, I finally got around to making up the painting. And I tagged her in it, and she loved it. But it was just to show, like, different aspects of the fairies. And I wanted to show different hairstyles. And she was kind of a statuesque woman. She was I thought she would be a good a model for the painting. And I'm random like that. I just take pictures and put people in it from time to time, especially when I get inspired. And this is a part of my Black Love series, the last painting. I want to show every aspect of Black love, and it doesn't have to be grotesque or gratuitous or anything like that. I want to show the simplicity of a kiss, moments like these where a man is proposing on a beach. I want to show vibrancy as far as color, so you're attracted to it immediately. And that's what is pretty much essentially going on right here. He's just showing his love, expressing it to her on a beach setting. And I want people to see themselves in these types of paintings. Hopefully to inspire love, if not marriage at one point, a happy marriage at that.
Awesome. Well, you have sure spruced up the place, bringing your collection of paintings here. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I want to ask you, how did you get into the likeness of mermaids, mermen, fairies? How did that happen?
It was kind of accidental. I made one painting that was 30 by 40, and it was called Opulence. And it was a couple. It was a couple that was sitting in front of an aquarium, and there was aquatic performers with fishtails on them, and they were mermaids and mermen. One person who saw it at my show was like, "Wow, I really love mermaids," and a hustling mind just started going like, well, maybe I can make up more of these and it could be a thing. And I started going from there and creating a whole storyline from it. And then I said, well, what else could I do? And somehow it just popped in my head to do fairies. It just seemed simple. At first I was doing like cartoon versions, and then I started making it into real women and creating a whole world from it. Once my mind starts to go, it goes.
Yes.
And it just came from me doing one painting, and it just led to a whole series.
And a whole collection, a whole, and let me say the correct word, series, as you have said. So I want to say, if people are interested in these paintings that are here and they'd like to purchase them, how do they contact you? Are these for sale, or are these already sold?
Oh no, these are for sale, and I do have prints of my work. And if I run out, I have you can just hit me up, and I can make prints on demand. And you can hit me up at King_Claude on Instagram.
Tell them right in the camera there.
Oh yeah, King_Claude on Instagram. And I'm on Facebook as well. You can hit me up at Claude Harris III. And if you see the gold elephant, that's me.
All right, perfect, because I didn't want to have to let them go to the end of the show to find out how they can purchase these pieces if they were available. So if you sell that one, you have another one that you can sell that is just like that one. Is that correct?
Well, I will have prints of it, but okay. I always have a multitude. It's a lot in the collection.
Okay.
I haven't even ran a count for it yet, but I have a lot of paintings that are... You are welcome to get some of these paintings. I will tell you that.
And so, if you want to check out some of his paintings, you currently have a display right now at Ruby
Yes,
Jeans.
ma'am.
So if you want to tell everybody about that as well, that's where they can also... Can they purchase at Ruby Jeans while they're there?
Well, you can hit me up. My information and my artist statement is on the wall.
Okay.
And my mermaid and fairy series, the bigger pieces, are on display at Ruby Jeans at 3000 Truths. And if you want to look at them, just go during the hours of business, and you can see my roughly some of my collection. And you'll be inspired, you'll be amazed, you'll be in wonderment, but you definitely won't be out of oh my God, you get tongue tied at the end. I'm sorry. You'll definitely
You won't
be
be
amazed.
disappointed, basically.
You won't be disappointed. That's why
We're going to simplify it. I think I know the word that you were going for, but we're going to keep it simple. And
Yes, ma'am.
Y'all know what we meant, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, and that exhibit is actually called Mythical and Melanated, a solo exhibition by Claude Harris. Just to show some love on that.
Appreciate you.
And that has been going on. His art has been on display there at Ruby Jean since November the 7th. You have till December the 27th to go and view that art, see what you want to buy, and hit Claude up at King underscore Claude on Instagram.
Yes, ma'am.
You said you had a lot of paintings, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know how many you have, or can you estimate how many paintings you have?
It's past 100. I'll say it like that. If not, maybe 2. But I have a lot of paintings that I've done over the years. Like some was trial and error. Like I don't really count them because they're not part of canon or series. But the ones in series is quite a bit.
Now, I hear this series word. I heard you say that you are going to have a comic book. Have you thought about turning that into film or movies as well? Have you thought about that?
Yes. I want my storyline to grow and go into different media and mediums. I really want to see my work in different aspects, and movies is one of them. That or even a cartoon. That would be even. I'll even take that.
Because I've seen you've created like cartoon characters as well. Was that the digital art that I was looking at? Because do you still do digital art?
Yes, I slowed down on it for a second, but I do digital artwork. I've done plenty of things after a while over the years, but digital art and acrylic painting is one of the mediums that I do most often.
So have you ever, or is it a plan for you to illustrate for books?
Oh, actually, I've done that. I've illustrated for books. I've done 4...
Oh, excuse me. No.
I've done 4 illustrations, and I sold them off. And I decided to come up with a plan to do coloring books for myself and books as far as the comic books as well. I've also been planning for years to do a graphic novel. I just been trying to work up the nerve to start the storyline and write the dialogue out. There's multiple people when it comes to comic books who have a job. You have inkers, writers, and actual drawers. I'm doing all of this in a sense myself, and it's not because I choose to just have all these jobs.
Right.
You got to do what you got to do to get this vision and these dreams out, even if it's by yourself. Nipsey Hussle at one point did that. Excuse me, sir. Let me get out of the way. I'll mix and master my own stuff because he couldn't wait on someone else to do the work. He had to figure it out himself, and that man generated millions of dollars and fame just by having that drive and that passion. And hopefully, I'll be like that one day.
I see you have some paintings of Nipsey Hussle on your Instagram. So is he one of your inspirations as far as from the entrepreneur aspect?
Yes, he was. The best statement I've ever heard him say was, "I am It's a Tupac quote. I'm the spark from that. Like even if I don't make it, I'm the spark from that kid." And he showed it in his actions. He had a whole futuristic mindset of how clothing and a brand should be pushed. He was smart. He was a leader. He was an innovator. And he was a well-spoken person, and he was direct, he was assertive. He had everything that you would want a leader to be. And I take inspiration from him, 50 Cent, and other entrepreneurs that made something of themselves and further other people's careers.
So you are going to be stepping solely into entrepreneurship.
Oh, yeah.
How are you feeling about that? And hey, we need some support. We need some people to support him so he can make this journey easy and lucrative. So do you want to tell us about like your process into stepping into entrepreneurship?
It's going to be a step-by-step basis. I'm going to build up my money just in case I have just in case emergencies happen. I have petty cash to dip into to keep my business, keep it afloat and going. And I've already gotten into being a landlord and doing other things to garner me some more money. I'm not trying to put all my eggs in one basket. I'm setting myself up to have multiple streams of income just so I can fund one business. And if one isn't doing so well, the other one hopefully will do even better and keep myself going. And I think that's how you essentially do it when it comes to business. You don't just rely on be a one-trick pony. You have to diverse yourself in many so you keep it going. And that's what I'm ultimately trying to do right now. I'm starting out with a job first, and once I get to a level where I feel comfortable, then I'll eventually leave that job and solely be in these businesses.
Okay, now management is not watching. They're not watching this interview, are they? Or do they already know what your plans are?
They've been knowing, like, it's okay. Like, eventually, like, hopefully you don't want me to stay forever and ever and ever. If that's the case, then that's a good fail-safe because I do have a job with the benefits and a pension. But my dream as a child was to be an entrepreneur and to help other people and do the same thing. I can say with pride that I come from a school that pushed out entrepreneurs, and from my class alone, 07, there have been multiple entrepreneurs that I've seen and I've admired, and I've shared their work or their product, and I'll stay doing that with anybody of color, even if you're not of color. If you are for me or for my people, I'm going to share your stuff and push it because I hope to get the same energy.
That's awesome. So we've talked about like what artists inspire you. Are there any painters that inspire you?
There's painters that I'm around and I'll go back and forth when we're all friends. Harold Smith is a good one. Daisha, she's a great artist.
Are these local painters?
Local painters in Kansas City or Wyandotte area. JT Daniels, Mary Chalet. There's a lot of Warren Harvey, Lionel Diggs. There's a lot of people who inspire me, and these are all artists that you can see off of 18th and Vine, and at these festivals and at pop-up shops. It's so many people who I can mention, and I'm sorry if I didn't mention you, but you definitely in my heart and spirit. But those are the ones I can think of off the back. But my major influences have been MC Escher, Frida Kahlo, and Salvador Dali. These people have transcended art, and sometimes some of them are not well known, but amongst art and amongst the greats, they are known to me because they did something that I haven't seen too many people do.
And I'm not 100% free. I've heard Frida. I'm not all that familiar. So what have they done? Just to elaborate on that.
MC Escher was an artist that dealt with tessellations and geometric shapes. These things are like a tessellation is just a geometric pattern that's just repeated. So triangle, 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 and it's just a pattern, and you'll see it in clothing. If you ever see like a Gucci print and how it's shaped and goes throughout the fabric, that's a geometrical pattern to a tessellation to a certain extent. And he was doing impossible structures. It's hard to describe, but he did black and white work, and you will rarely see some of his stuff in color. But him adding all this geometry, which was influenced by Muslim architecture, it inspired me to be and think outside of my realm and also add geometry into some of my work. And Frida Kahlo was a fantasy artist, and she came up with a lot of stuff in her mind, and she had a lot of symbolism in her work. And she inspired me just by being a bold figure in general. She was a very outstanding person, even though she didn't live that long. And she's been one of my favorites for years. And Salvador Dali, he was a surrealist painter. He painted stuff like dreamlike stuff. And he's the one with the melting clocks, that painting. So if you ever see his work, you'll be amazed and tripped out. And one of those things where, what was he on? But when people see my work, that's the goal, like to master my medium and have people wondering, like, what was he thinking about? What was he on?
That's funny. Have you ever painted any of those painters that you just mentioned?
Frida Kahlo. It was a long time ago. I did actually a color pencil drawing of her and an actual painting. She was one of my major inspirations. I never did Salvador Dali, but I've always tried to focus on people of, like, I've drawn like people of color. Like, I wanted to draw this one painting that had all these multimillionaires who are black, and I'm still trying to finish that as of right now. It's multiple paintings that I need to finish up, but she's the only artist that I've painted that I really admire and it has influenced me. Other than some of my friends, I've painted some of my friends as well. Mary Chalet and my friend of recent, I did a commission for, and that was my friend Daisha.
Nice. So, do you do live paintings?
Yes, I can do live sketches, live paintings, and I did one for my girlfriend's event. It was for grieving mothers, and I came up with a concept right then and there, painted it out, and there was a contest, and one of our friends won the painting. I just asked, like, let me freshen it up and make it nice and neat, and then I sent it off to her.
Nice. So with these paintings, do you sketch it out first, or are you just going straight in with the color?
It all depends. Like, with some of them, I just go straight in. I'll thin out my paint, and I'll dip a brush in, and I'll just sketch the whole thing out right then and there. And I work on multiple paintings at the same time, so I'll do that with most of them and put them off to the side, work on something smaller, then build, and then go back to paintings and build it up until I have the collection that you see.
Wow, thank you so much. Time has gone so fast. We're about to be wrapping up. But before we do, I want to ask the audience, those who are watching live, if you have any questions or comments for Claude Harris, this is the time to do that now before we close out. But while they're gathering their questions or comments, I will go ahead and ask you if you can please tell our guests what services they can book you for and how they can buy your paintings and how to contact you.
As of right now, I do commissions. If you don't see anything that you like, or if you don't want to buy anything in part of my series or any prints, you can contact me at king_Claude on Instagram. And I do have my number and everything on there. And we can talk prices on commissions and even murals. I would just ask for anybody, please be deposit ready, and I'll come up with whatever concept that you have. And that's it for right now.
Sounds good to me. Hey, do we have any questions that came in, Creative Director, before we go ahead and close out this podcast?
Doing the real thing. I actually letting this go how it was supposed to.
Oh.
Which is y'all talking and us talking.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, darn snap, it's about that time.
Oh, yes. We got...
I think we're checking to see if we got some.
Mary Moore says, amazing artist,
Mary
dream
Moore.
big.
Queen.
Dream brother, so just comments on encouragement, really.
Appreciate
Queen
it.
Mary Moore, thank you so much for tuning
Appreciate
in.
you.
She is a legend here in Kansas City and beyond. If y'all don't know Mary Moore, y'all need to follow her on Facebook and get to know who she is. Lovely queen. Thank you so much, Mary Moore, for tuning in. Appreciate that. So yes, is there anything else? Well, let's talk about, you have your exhibit at Ruby Jean's Juicery. Mm-hmm. Is there anything else that you have coming up that you'd like to share with our viewers?
As of right now, no. I just have future projects. Mm-hmm. I am going to step at one point. I'm in the fantasy series right now. And at one point, I'm going into social political. So all the things that you'll see throughout your day-to-day life, especially in Kansas City, if not on your travels, where you see the homeless people lying on the ground, or certain cities starting to become abandoned, and the scarcity. I'm trying to come up with a lot when it comes and speak to that, like what's happening now. Mm-hmm. And I'm also going to speak also about what happened in the past. No one has drawn or really made up paintings or things of that nature about the crack era, about the heroin epidemic. Mm-hmm. No one has talked about the fire that happened in Philadelphia where they torched a whole entire block just to get one family out in the 80s. And I'm going to showcase or what it looks like to be a drug addict or a drug dealer. None of these things have been documented to an extent as far as I'm concerned as an artist. And it's been done before by several different artists over time. You've seen war, famine, and all of these things. There's infamous paintings like the fall of Pompeii, where you see the whole entire destruction. And I want to show that with my art for my people in my time.
That is something to get ready for, folks. I'm looking forward to seeing those collections. I want to ask you, do you have any workshops that youth or adults can participate in to learn how to paint or draw or do custom shoe design?
No, not as of right now, but I am willing. If anybody wants to reach out to me about doing anything, I could try to see if I could spare some time and teach. The one thing that's been getting to me is my job. I spend a lot of time trying to do that and earn money to keep this process going. But I'm not. I'm not going to turn down no decent opportunity. I'm willing to work, if not work around certain things.
Awesome. All right. Well, again, folks, this has been Claude Harris we have been speaking with. He is an accomplished painter, creative, illustrator, custom shoe designer, poet, and more here in Kansas City. His work is going to be local, and he's going to travel abroad with it as well. If you want to purchase some of his pieces that you see here this evening or today, whenever you're watching this podcast, that you see on the piano, or if you go to his Instagram page and you find something, or if you go to Ruby Jean's Juicery where his collection is running till December 27th and you like to purchase something, how do you contact him? King__ Claude on Instagram. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, thank y'all so much, everybody, for tuning in. You are most welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to the White Piano Podcast. We air every third Thursday of the month right here at the Mutual Musicians Foundation. There is also the Bird's Nest Happy Hour happening 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. So that's something that you want to partake in. You can mingle and network, and then 5 p.m. you can still stay and witness the podcast as we've had some people do today. So that is our show, folks. Again, we thank y'all so much for tuning in, and we'll see y'all next time.
Thank you.
Somebody got to turn the camera off. That's our piano director.